Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
All right, thanks for joining us once again. Now the news in details. The federal government has announced the relaxation of the restriction placed on places of worship as part of measures to curtail the spread of COVID-19. The chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, announced this during the daily briefing of the panel. Mustafa, who is also the Secretary to Government of the Federation, said the ban on interstate travel is still in place. He said there is a ban on gatherings of more than 20 people outside a workplace, relaxation of restriction on places of worship based on guidelines issued by the PTF and protocols agreed by state governments, managed access to markets and locations of economic activity to limit the risk of transmission, ban on interstate travels except for the movement of agricultural produce, petroleum products, manufactured goods, and essential services. Mandatory use of non-medical face masks in public places, mandatory provision of hand-washing facilities, sanitizers in all public places. Moving forward quickly, we have Tribunal dismisses party's request to join Bayelsa Governor petition. The Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja dismissed an application by a political party, Liberation Movement, seeking to be joined as a co-petitioner in a petition challenging the outcome of the November 16, 2019 poll in the state. The party's governorship candidate in the election, Vijay Puma, had filed the petition on February 20, 2020, without joining the party as a co-petitioner. He had filed the petition barely 2 weeks after the Independent National Electoral Commission deregistered LM on February 6, 2020. Subsequently, on May 5, 2020, LM filed an application seeking to be joined as a co-petitioner in the case about 15 days after the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Lawrence Erujakbo, challenged the competence of the petition on the grounds that the exclusion of the party from the petition as co-petitioner had rendered it invalid. In opposing the application, Erujakpo, through his counsel, Chukwuma Machuku Ume, senior advocate of Nigeria, asked the tribunal to dismiss LM application for a joinder. In its ruling, the three-man tribunal led by Justice Mohammed Sirajo upheld Ume's opposition and dismissed the application for lacking in merit. Delivering the lead ruling, Sirajo held that there was no justification for the party to file the application to join the petition 74 days after it was filed by its governorship candidate in the election. On other stories, court stops Oshomole's arrest over Edo fraud indictment. The Federal High Court in Abuja issued an interim order restraining the Edo State government, Governor Godwin Obaseki and others from acting on the reports of the state's Judicial Commission of Inquiry, which indicted the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, for corruption. Justice Ahmed Mohammed, in a ruling on an ex-parte application filed on May 27, 2020 by Oshomole, asked parties not to take any step, including any plan to arrest the APC chairman. He ordered the respondents to the suit, including the Edo State government, the governor, the Inspector General of Police, and the Department of State Service, not to take any action until the court will decide whether or not it has jurisdiction to entertain the APC chairman's suit. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry, led by Justice James Oyomire, retired, was set up by the Edo State government to investigate and make recommendations over the construction of the Edo State Specialist Hospital and supply of equipment for the hospital during the tenure of Oshomole as the governor of the state. Justice Mohammed, however, ordered the respondents in the matter to stay action in respect of the case pending determination of the issue of jurisdiction. Oshomole, who is the immediate past governor of the state, was instrumental to the emergence of Obaseki as the governor of the state in November 2016. The relationship between the duo had recently become acrimonious. Coming from around Africa, quickly we have Botswana president test negative again and school reopening. Botswana remains one of the Africa's least impacted countries, one of a handful with less than 100 cases of COVID-19. Government has in the past month taken drastic measures, including a strict lockdown. President Eric Mosisi tested negative for the third time. The whole parliament was quarantined at a point when a health worker tested positive there. As part of containment measures, wearing of homemade masks have been made obligatory in public. Data collection has also been a key plank of the response as part of contact tracing efforts. Schools are also set to reopen along with the trend across parts of Africa. Strict health protocols are to be observed as kids return to lessons. This article concentrates on major updates from the country in its fight against the coronavirus pandemic. The government this morning announced that President Eric Mosisi was due to be released from home quarantine after testing negative for COVID-19. This becomes the third time the president has been tested for the virus. First was after he made a trip to Namibia for the investiture of Hague Geingob. The second was last month when a health worker at Parliament tested positive during a session he was in attendance. All lawmakers and persons present were ordered to self-quarantine at the time. A number of members of parliaments who flouted the rule were subsequently forced into institutional quarantine. Lockdown measures were eased last month, while government also zoned the country as part of virus spread containment measures. Strict health protocols and data entries have been legislated for public offices and private businesses. Schools also reopened this week with similar measures. Still from around Africa, Kenya's President Uhuru issues reopening orders. Kenya continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic with cases steadily rising each day. Government have locked down a handful of countries, including the capital Nairobi, and imposed a nighttime curfew as part of containment efforts. This rolling page will continue to give updates on major occurrences as relates to the East African country. Kenya was the fourth most impacted country in the East Horn of Africa region, only behind Djibouti, Sudan, and Somalia. Government also rolled out mass testing in various virus hotspots. Border remains shut, and a ban on public gatherings continues. 59 people testing positive from 1,518 samples processed in the last 24 hours. The total case load in the country to date is 2,021, and samples tested since arrival of the pandemic is at 80,054. Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta has tasked relevant ministries to work on easing of lockdowns imposed to curb spread of the virus. Speaking during celebrations of Madaraka Freedom Day, the president said he would issue more guidelines in the coming days. He directed the Ministry of Interior and Ministry of Health to continue and hasten their engagement with religious leaders with the objective of developing protocols that will be adopted to guide a more participatory way of worship while guaranteeing the safety of worshippers. Coming up next is some news or updates from the United States just immediately after the short break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT +1, that is 11 a.m. GMT +1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Coronavirus is an infectious disease, one which can be spread from person to person.
However, you can protect yourself, the people around you, and help prevent spreading the virus to others if only you
Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds with soap and water or an alcoholic-based hand rub or sanitizer.
Clean and disinfect surfaces. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing. Avoid close contact, that is 1 meter or 3 feet, with people who are unwell.
stay home and self-isolate from others in the household if you feel unwell.
Don't touch your eyes, nose or mouth with your hands, whether clean or not.
You only need to stay in the comfort of your home.
As Celebration TV brings to you life-transforming,
Destiny empowering.
And spirit-uplifted programs for your viewing pleasure.
Together we can save lives and cut down the spread of coronavirus.
This message is brought to you by Celebration TV, revealing Jesus, releasing destinies.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Mark.
and the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT +1, that is 11 a.m. GMT +1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Welcome to.
All right, welcome back and thanks for joining us once again. Now, updates from the United States. Trump threatens to send in army to end protests. President Donald Trump has threatened to send in the military to quell growing civil unrest in the U.S. over the death of a black man in police custody. He said if cities and states fail to control the protests and defend their residents, he would deploy the army and quickly solve the problem for them. Protests over the death of George Floyd had escalated over the past week. 4 police, meanwhile, have been shot and injured in Missouri in what the force says is a continuing incident. Hours earlier in Washington, D.C., police cleared protesters from a nearby park with tear gas and rubber bullets as Mr. Trump spoke at the White House. The protest began after a video showed Mr. Floyd, 46, being arrested in Minneapolis on 25th of May, and a white police officer continuing to kneel on his neck even after he pleaded that he could not breathe. The officer, Derek Chauvin, has been charged with third-degree murder and will appear in court next week. 3 other police officers have been fired. A post-mortem examination declared Mr. Floyd's death a homicide. The president delivered a brief address from the White House Rose Garden amid the sound of a nearby protest being dispersed. Mr. Trump said all Americans were rightly sickened and revolted by the brutal death of George Floyd, but said his memory must not be drowned out by an angry mob. He described the scenes of looting and violence in the Capitol as a total disgrace before pledging to bolster the city's defenses. More updates from UK. Ministers looking at ways to relax travel quarantine rule. The government is looking at ways to relax the 14-day quarantine rule for people entering the UK over the coming months. From Monday, most people arriving by plane, ferry or train, including UK nationals, must self-isolate. But some Member of Parliament and businesses have expressed concern at the plan, warning it will damage the travel industry. A government source said that ministers were looking at ways around the coronavirus quarantine. These could include travel corridors to countries with low infection rate, or expanding the list of workers who are exempt from the 14-day rule. Any changes would be guided by the science, but one possible date for relaxation to the rule could be 20th of July, coinciding with school holidays. In England, there will be random spot checks and £1,000 fines, while governments in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland can impose their own penalties. The quarantine plan is due to be reviewed every 3 weeks, with a first review of the plan due at the end of June. Now, quickly, we'll go on business news. Stock markets begins June with 25 billion naira gain. Trading activities on floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed on a positive note on the first day of this month following gains recorded by some blue chips firm. The NSE All-Share Index appreciated by 0.19% as Japo Oil and Maritime Services PLC led other gainers at the end of the trading. The market breadth closed in the green with 28 gainers and 10 losers. The ASI rose by 48.3 basis points from 25,267 on Friday to 25,316, while the market capitalization of equities appreciated by 25 billion naira to close at 13.19 trillion naira from 13.16 trillion naira. Japo Oil and Maritime Services and the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company PLC led the gainers chart as they appreciated by 10% each to close at 22 kobo and 2 naira 75 kobo per share respectively. Dangote Sugar PLC followed with 9.69% gain to close at 14.15 naira per share, and Cornerstone Insurance PLC rose by 9.09% to close at 60 kobo per share. Feedsin Headcow PLC led the losers chart with a drop of 9.71% to close at 3 naira and 7 kobo per share. And still on business news, federal government reduces petrol pump price to 121.5 naira. The Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency has announced a new pump price band of 121 naira 50 kobo from 123 naira 50 kobo per litre for premium motor spirit, also known as petrol. The PPPRA, which is an agency of the federal government, disclosed these in a circular to fuel marketers. The sharp drop in crude oil prices on the back of the spread of coronavirus saw the landing cost of petrol hitting a record low in March, wiping off subsidy on the product. The pump price of petrol, which is still being regulated by the federal government, was reduced to 125 naira per litre from 145 naira per litre on March 18, 2020, effective March 19. The PPPRA further announced on March 31st a price band of 123 naira 50 kaba to 125 naira per litre, effective April 1st. We'll go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you news from the sporting world. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
Coronavirus is an infectious disease, one which can be spread from person to person.
However, you can protect yourself, the people around you, and help prevent spreading the virus to others if only you
Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds with soap and water or an alcoholic-based hand rub or sanitizer.
Clean and disinfect surfaces. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze.
Practice social distancing. Avoid close contact, that is 1 meter or 3 feet, with people who are unwell.
stay home and self-isolate from others in the household if you feel unwell.
Don't touch your eyes, nose or mouth with your hands, whether clean or not.
You only need to stay in the comfort of your home.
As Celebration TV brings to you life-transforming,
Destiny empowering.
And spirit uplifted programs for your viewing pleasure.
Together we can save lives and cut down the spread of coronavirus.
This message is brought to you by Celebration TV, revealing Jesus, releasing destiny.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
and the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
Welcome to News.
Welcome to Sports News. United to pay £10.5 million to keep Igalo. Manchester United have extended Odio Igalo's loan until the end of January, with United agreeing a £6 million fee with Shanghai Shenhua and continuing to pay just under half of Igalo's £300,000 a week wages. The extension comes after problems over the player's return to China convinced the Chinese Super League club, who will receive a total of £10.5 million, with the £6 million loan fee and a £130,000 a week salary combined to let him stay at Old Trafford. There is no optional obligation for United to buy the 30-year-old striker when his new deal runs out on January 31st. Shanghai had demanded Igalo's return after his initial 4-month loan at United expired at midnight on Sunday, but both clubs confirmed that a compromise had been reached. The breakthrough in lengthy negotiations was helped by a further delay to the Chinese Super League season, which still has no start date in place. United Hands was already strengthened after China told foreign nationals late last week that there will be no visa allowing them to return to the country until October. Shanghai had offered Ighalo a contract extension till 2024 on improved terms of £400,000 a week, but the player was keen to stay at United, the club he supported as a boy, after scoring 4 goals in 8 games since arriving on loan in January. Quickly, on another sports, we have Inter wants Moses loan deal extended. Inter Milan football director Petrol wants Victor Moses and all the players on loan at the club on a longer deal following the extension of the 2019-2020 league in Italy. Moses' contract at the club was built to end June 30th, but the Italian giants will be hoping to have the Nigerian and others till the end of the extended season. The 29-year-old joined the Nerazzurri on loan from Chelsea in January with an option to buy, reuniting with former manager Antonio Conte, who was previously on loan to Fenerbahce, where he scored 5 goals in 20 league appearances. The Nigerian was loaned to Inter after Chelsea manager Frank Lampard deemed him surplus to requirement at Stamford Bridge. Moses has made 7 appearances for the Italians in all competitions. And that has brought us to the end of the news on our news desk. Now, in case you're just joining us, here's a recap of the news headlines. The Nigerian federal government relaxes restriction on churches and mosques. Botswana president tests negative again as schools reopen. Trump threatens to send in army to end protests. Stock markets begin June with 25 billion naira gain, and United to pay 10.5 million pounds to keep Ighalo. Quickly, we have photo of the day, a quote for us, and that is too late for you to give up. One of the reasons why you must not fail is that many are waiting for you to fail. So it's time for us to keep pressing. Don't be discouraged. The reason why you fail is the reason why you should not fail is because a lot of persons out there waiting for you to fail so they can laugh at you. So no matter the discouragement you see on your way, you can't afford to fail now. So if you have your own comment, you can as well drop it on our social media platforms, and also you can listen to our news bulletins most times and on our social media platform as well. On Facebook, we have Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, tweet at us at My Celebration TV, and on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, or a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. Play your part and do it with all diligence. I am Nicholas Akosile Walter. Thank you once again for staying with us on our news desk. Bye for now. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun